Hey guys, what's going on? There's going to be a whole bunch of Marvel stuff happening this next week, so be sure to subscribe to get everything and leave all your requests for bonus videos in the comments. But it has been the best weekend for comic book lovers. We got new Guardians of the Galaxy, we got new Justice League, and we got a bunch of new Spider-Man Homecoming. There has been all-out marketing war between Marvel and DC. Look at all these movies. You think you can upstage us by releasing the first big trailer for your team-up movie? Well, we're going to release a whole bunch of stuff. So they started releasing Justice League posters for each of the characters with really short teasers like, hey, we're going to drop the first Justice League teaser. And then as that was happening, Marvel coincidentally dropped a giant TV spot and a whole bunch of posters over those same couple of days. And then as things got on, they started doing the same thing with Spider-Man Homecoming, and Tom Holland posted this video.
Bonjour France, I'm Tom Holland, your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Thank you so much for liking our Facebook page, and we hope you like all the new content we'll be posting over the next few days. Merci beaucoup.
So you watch that, you wonder to yourself, hey, why have they been posting all these Spider-Man pictures with him next to the Avengers Tower in New York City? Why is Tom Holland telling the nation of France in a Facebook video that he's going to be posting a whole bunch of stuff really soon? Well, one, we're approaching the 4-month anniversary for the release date of Spider-Man Homecoming. That's coming out July 7th, so it'll be 4 months this next week, meaning that they're ramping up for more content to start posting. When movies get within a certain time window, they really ramp up their content. So like Justice League just dropped that big trailer, but the movie's not coming out till November, so there's not going to be a whole bunch of Justice League posting. But we have Guardians of the Galaxy coming out in May, so there's been all kinds of Guardians stuff posting every single week. Like every week we've gotten a little bit of new Guardians, a little bit of new Ego the Living Planet. I just posted that new trailer video, so we're getting ready for that cycle to start for Spider-Man Homecoming. So Tom Holland is just telling the international box office, hey, we're getting ready to post a whole bunch of crap, you are gonna love it, so get ready to freak out. But as they were posting these pictures, they had little one-liners with them. Homework can wait, New York can't. Straight A superhero. Quickest way to get home as he's hanging onto the overpass looking like he's trying to hail a bus. They're trying to tell you a little bit about what some of the action of the movie is going to be in some of the locations. So the big thing here, I think, is the Avengers Tower, because we see him with Tony Stark in what looks like the new Avengers facility in upstate New York in the last trailer. So you ask to yourself, what's Spider-Man doing in upstate New York if he's bound to the boroughs of New York City? Spider-Man is a very New York-centric character. He's traveled around in a lot of big comics, but most of the Spider-Man movies have been localized to New York City, so it makes sense if he's a little kid and he's not flying in the jet all the way overseas with Tony Stark to fight in a big Avengers battle, that he would stay in New York City. But we haven't been back to the Avengers Tower since Avengers Age of Ultron. Part of the reason I think that they made the new Avengers base was because they needed more space because the team was growing, but also people would attack the Avengers. So if you're going to attack them and the building is in the middle of New York City, the rest of New York City is in pretty big danger. So I think Tony Stark wisely decided to take them out of New York City so that every time some petty thug came a knocking or the government, they didn't have to worry about hurting the rest of the people of New York. And because of design language, they moved production of all the Marvel movies to Georgia. In this building that they use as the Avengers base is like a giant Audi factory inside Georgia. So this is like a building that they just add a little bit of CG to, so they don't have to build an entire city when they're in Georgia. That would be crazy expensive from a CG perspective. So like if they wanted to do more New York City, they would actually have to go film in New York City, which is what they did for Spider-Man Homecoming, obviously. They filmed a lot in Queens, they filmed a lot in Manhattan. So of the big locations that we know in the Spider-Man movie, there's the Washington Monument, so that's some sort of class field trip that they go on where he encounters the Vulture. Then there's sort of his home borough of Queens where his school is, and then you have Manhattan proper, where the Avengers Tower is. Now that's in Midtown, if you weren't wondering here. He's basically sitting on the East River here. I actually used to live off of the East River when I lived in New York City. If you're wondering what the yellow jacket is, that's his special school jacket. It's almost like a Letterman jacket, like his school wears uniforms. It's just meant to show you that he's still in school, like he wears a special jacket. There's a lot of kids all over New York City that go to special private schools that have to wear jackets. But if you look at the emblem on it, it's very similar to the atom that Tony Stark's father had when he was making Stark Expo. So there might be some special funding coming from the Stark family, whether it be Howard Stark or Tony Stark himself. But I think part of the reason for making the jacket yellow is so that the yellow and red reminds you of Iron Man colors. So there's no Iron Man in here, but you see a whole lot of Iron Man Avengers Tower, like he's clinging to it in this picture here. There might even be a big action set piece involving the Avengers Tower. There's a lot of Tony Stark in the last trailer, and I know we haven't seen anything of his friend from Brooklyn, but the thing about this road sign that he's hanging off of is that it's off of the 495, which sort of connects Midtown Manhattan with like the Empire State Building over here, which means the Avengers Tower is right here, with Queens and Brooklyn adjacent. So this isn't saying that Captain America is going to be in the film, but it's just reminding you, winking, that he has a friend from Brooklyn and he is very close to Brooklyn. So take that for what you will. But most of the movie is going to be focusing on Iron Man because we have confirmed Robert Downey Jr. in the movie, and we have the Avengers Tower front and center. And what do the villains of the movie look like they're doing, trying to evolve? So we have the Vulture, the Tinker, the Shocker, and maybe the Prowler. Jury's still out on Donald Glover's character, but what do they want? They want Chitauri tech so that they can upgrade themselves and pull bigger crimes. Times are changing, time we change too. So what would you find inside the Avengers Tower? You would find a lot of Tony Stark's toys. He probably did not take everything with him when he moved upstate, so we might get to see an action set piece involving the villains trying to steal something from the Avengers Tower, Spider-Man trying to stop them. Rewind to the last couple of Spider-Man movies. What's the big tech-oriented building that Spider-Man spends a lot of time in? The Oscorp building. There's a bunch of research. That's where he gets his spider bite in the first Amazing Spider-Man movie. So Spider-Man, being a very science-oriented character, he's sort of like a junior science bro in training. If they wanted to mimic elements of previous Spider-Man movies in this, they would use the Avengers Tower as a stand-in for what they used to use the Oscorp Tower for. Now, Tony Stark is always going to be a hero. There is Norman Osborn in this universe. He's too big of a Spider-Man villain for them to not include him in the movies at some point. But I think way back, they were actually trying to get Matthew McConaughey for a mystery villain role in the Marvel Universe. I think it was Norman Osborn. I think they were trying to get him for the Spider-Man movie before they got Michael Keaton and then turned him into the Vulture just because it's a little more age appropriate for him. I mean, you could argue whether or not he'd make a great Norman Osborn because he's so good. You could turn him into the Kangaroo and it would still be an amazing performance. That's right, there was a Spider-Man villain called the Kangaroo who just leapt over things. So based on all this stuff that they're teasing, it sounds like we're going to see the Avengers Tower at some point in one of the trailers that they drop. Maybe it'll be this next week, maybe it'll be one of the other trailers, but there's just going to be a whole bunch of Spider-Man footage dropping in the next couple months, just like Guardians of the Galaxy. And most of the marketing will come through Sony first, but it'll also be coming through Marvel. Like Marvel uses all of its social to promote Spider-Man stuff. So that actually reminds me, if you guys didn't know, I do post a lot of updates on videos and other stuff on Twitter and Facebook. These are my links, so you can follow me here for updates on when videos are coming, especially when we have crazy weekends like this, when there's just like crazy stuff to get through. So there's so many videos that you've requested and I'm still trying to get through that I'll post as quick as possible in the next couple days. But there's new Deadpool 2. I know they have this funny Boss Logic poster. He makes some of the best fan posters. If you actually fell in the East River, you would crawl out with mutant powers. That's how dirty it is. There's some new Logan I want to post. There'll be some new Justice League. There's a bunch of DC and Marvel. So just look on my Twitter and Facebook in that top comment that I pinned on what videos are going to post next. But be sure to leave me all your requests. If you're a subscriber, like the only way I know which videos you guys want me to work on is if you tell me in the comments. What's going to happen later tonight is Walking Dead is doing part 1 of its 2-part finale. It's going to be crazy, so I'll post that video. Congratulations to the latest giveaway winner, Jack Durno. You win those Spider-Man action figures. Be sure to private message me on the back end of my channel so I can get your contact details. There was a new round that started in this video. I'll just announce the winner the next time I post a Marvel video. Thank you so much for watching. While you wait for that, you can click here to rewatch all that crazy Justice League, and you can click here to rewatch that brand new Guardians of the Galaxy. Thank you so much for watching. Let's high five. I'll see you guys in the next video.